Let's have a look at the astrology of the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, that is to say CHAZ, started on the 8th of June, so it's actually been going a few days now. I really like to see things like this happen. Who knows where it's going to end, but it really challenges the status quo, and it kind of proves that people actually can do stuff and can actually change stuff. I don't want to get into whether I really approve of it or want it to succeed or not. I'm not an American. I don't really know what it stands for, but I couldn't resist knocking together a little birth chart for it, and you'll see that in the thumbnail for this video. And we'll just have a rundown of what's going on. Sun in Gemini. CHAZ is a Gemini. Sun in 18 degrees Gemini. That is 9 minutes and 41. Now that would suggest to me that it might not be a real long-lasting thing. There are many things about it that suggest that. But Sun represents sort of will, purpose, sense of vitality, that kind of thing. And 18 degrees into Gemini, it's only about a quarter of the way in there. I would say it could last about 3 months based on that. And that is really going to be teaching people a lot of lessons if it goes on for 3 months. But will it? Who knows? Everyone's watching. Moon in Capricorn, 23 degrees Capricorn. So it is very Capricorn moony in the 8th house. Serious, practical, that kind of thing. And people who've got that alignment they can have a bit of a sort of power complex, quite honestly, and may find difficulty in just being happy and just getting on with what they're happy to do. And so I can't see that being a real positive thing, to be honest. But there we go. There is great determination in Capricorn, no two ways about that. So I'm sure people will hang on and hang on. Mercury is in 11 degrees of Cancer. Now, that gives a very kind of sensitive, emotional kind of mentality, but we're not too many degrees into Cancer there. And no doubt the sort of very strictly expressed caring side of Cancer is going to be playing into that. I think things are being done quite strictly there at the moment, but who knows what the authorities are going to do to answer that, because I'm sure that they will want to answer it in one way or another. Venus is in the 12th house, so we're looking at its chances of making money here. 10 degrees of Gemini. Venus in 10 degrees of Gemini. There is a lot of Gemini in the astrology of CHAZ as I look at it. There's a kind of mental approach to things, basically, and I think this has been probably quite carefully thought out by some people, but maybe not thought out for a real long-term kind of, for it playing out over a long time, if you know what I mean. There's a chance with this alignment that people who've got it tend not to take life very seriously, and I can actually see that maybe being just in some way part of what's going on there. Let's have a look at the rising sign. I cannot help but and the rising sign is in Gemini as well, 18 degrees Gemini, so very, very Gemini. That Gemini influence is still going on with it, and now that really is something that says it can go either way. Many commentators are saying this has got no chance, this isn't going to last 5 minutes. But look how seriously many Americans have been talking about things like defunding the police, something which would have been unthinkable before the whole George Floyd thing came. And think about the whole George Floyd thing, How many of us, whites, blacks, everyone, how many of us have thought that racism is a stupid, old-fashioned thing that needs to go? How long have we thought that? How often have we seen the authorities actually doing something positive about it? That's been a very, very rare thing. So I don't think it's impossible that this could go on and actually become a new normal. I think other areas are very likely to follow suit, actually. Difficult to say, but with the ascendant in Gemini, it really is out there, and the people running it aren't all that likely to be giving up on anything anytime soon. Anyway, we've done as far as Venus. Let's have a look at Mars. Now, Mars is in the 10th house, so we've got that's 17 degrees of Pisces. Now, you've got the hostility war thing of Mars joining up with the compassion of Pisces here. So exactly which way is that going to play out? Only time will tell. But there is obviously a great compassionate element somewhere in the heart of what's going on in CHAZ at the moment. And let's face it, it was actually born out of people's compassion, and people, not just their compassion, but their compassion having a sort of desire to live in a world that has more compassion in it. There's compassion at the core of a being, of any ideas like this. Compassion is definitely a big thing with this. So Mars in Pisces, Jupiter is in 26 degrees of Capricorn, so we've got the Capricorn thing coming in again. Jupiter in the 8th house, shrewd, careful, and a little bit secretive as well. So there we go, you see. So there's things going on under the surface with CHAZ. I can't believe anyone would just kind of set the thing up and not really think about it. There is thought that's gone into this, guys. It has been carefully considered on some level. So Saturn in Aquarius, Saturn also in the 8th house, and Saturn there is in 1 degree of Aquarius. So deepened concentration, that kind of thing. And as time goes on, things will become a lot more concentrated, no doubt. I mean, they're trying to work out where to get food from at the moment, and we're looking at a blockage there, because that is just not going to be an easy one. They've been trying to set up a farm. Goodness knows how well that's going to work out. Look, I mean, I grow my own food. It's going to take them a good year to get anything, and even then they might be disappointed. That is the nature of growing food on a small scale, which I'm afraid they'll be doing. But it all depends on what donations come in. What other people are actually willing to give to it. And in my heart of hearts, I can't help wishing them well. As I say, I'm not an American, and I don't really have all that much of an opinion, I suppose. But I really, in my heart of hearts, I would love to see something like this succeeding, just to let the big boys, the politicians that run things in this world, know that they can't just do anything they want forever, that sooner or later people are going to want to make a difference, and if they're blocked from making a difference, they're going to really kind of fight it out, you know. So where are we going now? Uranus in the 11th house, Uranus in 8 degrees of Taurus. Idealistic, you know, but also unconventional. That's the thing about that. It does seem very idealistic indeed to me, but it's also incredibly unconventional, and there is a great kind of drive behind it. There'll be kind of associations with the general goal of the betterment of society. Well, we know that, don't we? But they'll be very strongly held, I feel. Now, it is actually only 8 degrees into Taurus, but Taurus is a force to be reckoned with, so maybe even just 8 degrees is going to make a difference there. Neptune in 20 degrees of Pisces, in the 10th house. Very strong possibility of them really achieving things in terms of compassion, in terms of helping people. Whether the thing lasts or not, who knows, but there's compassion there, and compassion really is a force to be reckoned with as we come towards the age of Aquarius. And on the 21st of June, on the solstice, we have got an amazing eclipse, which is really a solar eclipse, which is really strongly on the way to a more compassionate world. So I can see kind of, you know, idealistic things, maybe things that are considered naive at the moment, and I think CHAZ is considered naive by a lot of people, really coming into their own. So Pluto in 24 degrees Capricorn. There is Capricorn all over this chart, guys. They're going to hang on. They're going to hang on and hang on really a lot. Deep feelings, psychic awareness of the feelings of others happens when people have got this in their chart. So they're going to kind of, the people who are running this, they've got their kind of cosmic manifesting heads on. Great things could happen. Great things really could happen. North Node in Gemini. This is about where it's all really going. Now that's in the 1st house, 29 degrees of Gemini. So yet again, we've got Gemini coming up here. And their kind of path of evolution is all about kind of getting things together. Maybe, you know, things don't come together that easily, do they? And there's going to be great interest in getting it to come together, getting it to work out. And there is more planning behind this than anybody thinks at this moment, really, believe me. Got to take a look at the midheaven, can't leave without doing that. 17 degrees of Aquarius is the midheaven. Now, symbolically, that's the individuality of the thing, and goodness knows it is very individual. People have tried to do this before. People have succeeded at this before. Let's not forget that. I don't want to just tear the thing apart, you know, because I think there really is something positive going on there, and I'm sure it's going to be allowed to succeed at least for a while. So let me see. Gemini, 1, 2, 3, 4 big things going on in Gemini, including the North Node, including the Ascendant, and actually the Sun sign as well. Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. Capricorn shows up 3 times as well. Not much going on with Aries, which I think would be the strongest thing if they had that. But Chiron in Aries, that's the wounded healer side of thing. And what's the degrees there again? 8 degrees of Aries, so not too far into Aries, but there's going to be great determination to actually hang on and to push those ideas through. The Ram energy is palpable there. Okay, so there is a look at CHAZ, the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. I've been slightly tongue-in-cheek doing this, but believe me, guys, I strongly hope that something really positive comes out of this, and I strongly believe that it will, especially now I've had a look at their birth chart. Go back, take a look at the thumbnail for this picture. I was going to green screen it behind me, but unfortunately, I've got my astrology software on the same phone I was going to film it with, so I couldn't do that. But take a look at the birth chart, which is going to be the thumbnail for this one. Okay, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Leave me a comment. I expect there'll be a few. We will share the journey. I look forward to chatting to you. Take care of yourselves. Love, light, and peace.